Hey, it's Tiffany from Mellow Vibes, and today we're talking about why budgeting is important for your well-being. If you are new here, my channel helps introspective, spiritual, artistic, wanderlusting freedom seekers work toward living the life that they desire, develop and share their gifts, develop more healthier relationships with other people and themselves, and be more self-aware. And so today, budgeting is definitely something that's working toward freedom, right? And living the life that you want. So, okay, so budgeting. I've been doing it for a long time, and it's something that I am really, I say, passionate about. And I'm trying to do this video as quickly as possible. We'll see how that goes. You know, I run my mouth sometimes when I'm doing these videos. It is Thursday, what some people celebrate as Thanksgiving, which I do not. It is my mom's birthday, and so I'm getting ready for my mom's birthday. And so in process, if you can tell with the hair and stuff. But okay, so let's get into it. Also, before we get into it, subscribe to my channel, turn on your notifications so you know when my videos come out. I've been mostly posting every like Friday, but we'll see how I hold up with that, being that I'm going to be starting a course next week, like in a few days actually, and so I'll be busy with that for like 2 months. So we'll see how if I can do this every Friday and keep up. But you'll see. I'm gonna at least try to do 2 videos a month. But I have been doing like 4, and I think last month I did 6. So so again, subscribe, turn notifications on if what I'm talking about sounds like it would be interesting to you. Okay, so to get into it, I had this as one of the topics I wanted to talk about for a while, and I was trying to look and see if there was anything on that, if other people had, talked about any kind of correlation between money and overall wellness and how that could be linked. And I just didn't find anything. There's a lot of stuff about just financial wellness, but not how one contributes to the other. And so, and I'm not rich by any means. I like at all, but my history. I'll talk about my history with budgeting. Right, I started when I was like 8 years old. Budgeting and just being really money conscious about what I had, like what allowance I got, what my birthday money was, how I was going to be spending it. I saved a lot of it. I saved most of it actually, maybe just started really young. Just maybe saved it until I had our vacations in the summer, our family vacations. And so the thing I spend money on has always been travel. And maybe it's my Cancer sun that makes me so money conscious, because Cancers, it's like a trait. Like we focus on just feeling stable. I mean, it's because Cancers are very centered on home and security and feeling safe. And so obviously having money leads to that feeling like having a safety. So I always need to know where my money is, what is coming in, what is going out. Like I have to know that. And so, budgeting has helped me be able to do the things that I like, which again is mainly travel. People with a lot more money than I have are always asking me how I travel so much. I don't even think I travel that much, but they always ask me, how do I do it? How do I do it? Like, I remember one of my friends asking me that, and I'm like, he at least made 3 or 4 times the amount that I did at that time. And we're talking to a doctor. Oh, well, he was a doctor too. Another doctor, they're like, you travel so much, how do you do it? It's like really, you make time for the things that you want. So I don't want to talk about what people want to spend their money on. That's your choice, but be like really conscious about like how you're doing it, how often, and what you are, all the things that need to be done first. People always say like pay yourself first. I just don't do that. Like I'm very focused on being debt free, and so like I'm always paying debts first, like student loans and stuff. So I'm very focused on that. Um, and if I have a couple dollars left for myself, that's it. Like really, I don't know if that's just my choice. I've tried so many times to just pay myself first. It's just is not something that's gonna happen. I just want to be done with things. So like sometimes maybe I'll just have like $5 for, or it wouldn't be five. Well, I think it would be like $10. It'd be like for pocket change or whatever, like before the month, like literally. So I don't do things that require money. And if anything, maybe I'm spending that $10 on like a cheap bottle of wine or something. But I don't do anything that goes outside of my budget. That's period. That's if someone is like, oh, let's go out for dinner. Let's take a spontaneous trip. Like my friends, like we normally have, well, we had done 3 consecutive uh, friends trips that I started. Of course, I'm the the traveling one. So I started these friends trips, but more local. But obviously, we didn't do it last year because of the pandemic, and then this year we didn't do it because like I guess we could have, but I just really wasn't thinking about it, and also like I don't want to spend my money on that at this time. So my friends were like, "Oh, well, let's try to do our annual trip, around New Year's," and I was just like, "I'm not. It's not in my budget. Like I would have had to have planned for that for a while, so that's just not gonna happen." So like for me, like if it's not planned, it's not planned. Um, it's not going in my budget. Like if it's not planned, it's the answer is no, and I'm serious about it. Oh my gosh, at work, I hated this stuff. When I used to work for the state, be like, oh, it's so and so's birthday tomorrow. Can you chip in like $10-$20 for their birthday card? It's like, no, like I didn't plan for that. Sorry. Like literally, like maybe I'll like bring something, like bake something for them, which is, from things I already had like in the house, like ingredients I already had. But like I did not plan for that. It's not happening. So and I'm very strict on that because I'm serious about where I'm trying to be and where I need to make sure that I'm maintaining myself, number one, and being able to move forward. So, what budgeting has done for me is made sure that I'm never late for bills. Like I can always pay my bills and pay them on time. I've never been late for anything. I can always pay my bills, which has been sometimes like a point of like I don't know if I'll be able to at certain points in my life, but I've always been able to. Um, so it helps me plan efficiently. And if there's something that I want to do that I don't have money for, I have to plan it efficiently so I can see like at what point I'll be able to have the money to do that. Um, we can talk about cutting expenses down. There's I know a major expense that I don't have to deal with that other people do is like the car stuff because I don't drive, but I used to in my budget have transportation. So I would still have a budget for transportation money. So like when I was in Philly, I paid for like the SEPTA monthly pass, which was, I don't remember, I'll just say like $130 or something like that. So if that was in my budget, then that's what I knew I had, like, or maybe I'd budget a little bit more if I needed to take for maybe a spontaneous like Uber ride or something. So that's in my budget, but like I know car notes are definitely more than like $130. So that needs to, it was not 100. I think I want to say it was like 191 actually, but whatever, it's in the budget. So with cutting expenses, I don't really have that many expenses to cut because I'm not that person I don't do going out to eat. Because really I don't like a lot of, first of all, I'm a vegetarian, so I have to find something that's vegetarian or vegan. I don't go to places where I can make the stuff that's on the menu myself. Like it has to be something that I can't make or that would take a long time to make. It's like it's a once in a blue moon thing. I'm not an eat out kind of person, and especially in the time of the pandemic, I'm definitely even less so. Um, there was I'm like, what expenses did I just cut my phone bill expense because honestly I was paying more for my phone bill than the what I was allotting for food each month. And so I had AT&T my entire life. I got my first cell phone when I was 18. When I was going to college. I've been on that plan since I was 18. I'm 35 now. So I've been on the same like plan with my mother, and I just never like bothered to get my own plan because that one was working and we just split the phone bill. So and AT&T was like always the best. I always had service. I remember I'd be the only person having service like in the subway. And so I was like, okay, AT&T said I'll pay for it. It's fine. And it was like maybe like and it's not too bad. Like I had a friend whose phone bill was like almost $200 every month, which made no sense to me at all. But my phone bill had gotten to, it used to be like 70 something, and then it was like the last amount I normally paid was maybe like $67 a month. So obviously I'm paying less than that for food. And so so $67 a month was like, okay, it's fine. But then when I had a cousin's party, which I have another one this Friday actually. My cousins, obviously it's a party with my cousins, do it online. And my cousin was like, oh, I've been using Mint Mobile and it's like really cheap. And like there's all these hacks like with phones that my cousins have been doing for a while. One of my cousins has been paying maybe like $25 for like years for her phone bill, and my another cousin paid like 20 for a really long time. And but it just was like services that was just like this, like when I talk to them, their call drops all the time. I was like, this doesn't seem like I'm not gonna like pay less just to have like really bad service. But my cousin who had joined Mint said it's been working really well, blah blah blah. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it because honestly, like I was going to remove myself from the phone bill regardless. It was already something that I was going to do because I'm getting married soon enough, and so that was already something I needed to think about. And so I joined Mint Mobile. I'm on like month 2 of Mint Mobile, and I really like it. I think only one time I like just didn't have service for like 2 minutes, but it's been really good. So it cut my phone bill from 67 to 15. Great. So if there's any expenses that you can cut them. Like I said, I'm already paying like really low for food, which is way lower than I used to pay. I think the most I ever paid for a month for food was maybe like 120, 130, which was already lower than most people that I know. But now I've cut it down even less. I can't really say how because I'm not starving. So, but I don't know. Maybe I just don't splurge as much on like, some things cost a lot of money. Like maybe if I wanted to get like vegan sausage or something, vegan Italian sausage to cook, like those are like $6 for like 4. So I don't really do that as much as maybe I used to. So just like, fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, whatever. It's not that expensive. And so we'll talk about like, why is this important for your well-being? Well, stress, stress. I'm not somebody who really like carries stress, and when my money is really good, I definitely don't have any. So lately it's been a bit more stressful than normal, but because like I have so many things that I need to be paying for and saving for. But in general, I don't really have stress when it comes to money because I budget everything out. I know when things need to get paid. I know how much I'm paying. I know how much I'm making. And so, and even still, when I've had fluctuations where like, okay, now I have less hours, especially like in the pandemic, I made so much less money. But the thing is, being that I actually didn't pay myself and I always paid other things first, and I overpaid like minimums and stuff. Okay, well now if I'm getting less, if I have less, if I'm working less, if I have less clients and I have less hours at my other jobs or whatever, it's like, well, I can still pay my bills because I had been overpaying this whole time. So now if I pay the minimum, it's fine. And so I still am able to pay my bills. Sometimes there just isn't enough money for all the things you desire, but I still have been able to plan and slowly put away money for those things. So that has helped with, I don't have to like stress about it that much. I stress when people want to pop up and like say like, that thing like, hey, can you do this? And it's like, no, just can't. So, but I want to be sure to talk about like mindset when that comes to money, because I'm often around people who like complain about money and or complain about a lack of money, and I don't ever want to be in a place where I'm saying, I've said before, I don't know if I said before on YouTube, but I've said before, like everything after I am is very powerful. So I never want to be like, I'm broke, or, I don't ever want to put that into the atmosphere. And that could mean actually several things, the way your subconscious mind hears it. And so I don't ever want to like say things that I'm not trying to call in. And so I don't talk about money. I don't talk about a lack of money or anything like that, because I don't want to like have more of that. Like what you put your focus on grows. I think we all know that by now, or if you don't now, you do. So that's not something I ever want to put out there. And so if someone's like, oh, can you give me $20 for whatever, it's like, I don't have money for that. I'm not saying I don't have money, because I do. Obviously I have money. I work and I get money, so I have money. We all work and we all get money, so therefore we have money. I say I don't have money for that. I don't have money for that right now. Something like that. Like, I'm never going to say I just don't have money. And so be intentional about, like, be aware of what you are saying, what you're speaking. Okay. And yeah, like I said, I hear people all the time complain about the lack of money, but then I see the very same people like shopping all the time, or going out all the time, going to the nail salon, going to the barber, going to the bar, but saying they don't have enough money for their bills. And it's like, okay, there's a lot of people that don't do what needs to be done, but they're doing all these other things, all these entertaining, external, whatever things, which, I don't want to say like you can't do those things. You can do those things sometimes, but actually properly plan for it. Like it's about discipline. So until you can do all the things, you need to have a budget. You need discipline. I mean, even if you have a lot of money, I think you should always have a budget, but you need discipline, especially when you are working with a small amount, a certain amount, and it's like, I don't have enough for all the things, then you need to be paying attention. Next, like actually, that ties in with your credit score, with like how, which is how this, country works. If you go to another country, then this credit score wouldn't matter, like, so they check your credit score for everything, for where you want to live, for getting a car, I guess sometimes depends, if you want to buy a house, all of that matters. So if you're not paying attention to your budget, and you're being lackadaisical with stuff, and just splurging on different things, and then not paying your bills, like all that stuff is going to come back to you. My credit score has always been decent, because I've always been, this way, but my credit score actually went up a good amount, even more during the pandemic, despite making probably 60% less than I was used to. That is no exaggeration. I think I did the math, and it was like 60% less than I was used to, and yet my credit score went up more. And I'm going to say that my guess is because I was even more diligent than I was before. I was always like serious about it, but I was definitely more diligent about what was happening. And I still paid my bills. Obviously, one helping thing that was out of my hands was the fact that they had paused one of my student loans, but I was able to definitely maintain, and then bring up my score. What I will say is, if you don't set up a budget, you will be constantly finding yourself in the same loop, in the same place of the cycle of not being able to pay for your basic needs. And you will constantly find yourself stressed, which obviously leads to many like mental, emotional, and physical illnesses. Like, stress is like the number one cause of a lot of illness. And so if you can prevent it, why don't you prevent it? I've offered budgeting calls in the past because I know how important it is. And I've offered to help people with this, like just in my life, and some people took me up on it and some didn't, and like those who didn't are still complaining about money all the time. It's like I don't even know if they know what they're doing. It's just like this thing, like, oh, money this, money this, oh, I don't like. It's really annoying. So maybe that's another reason why you should set up a budget, so you don't annoy people. um, um, you still complain about the same things. They still miss their bill due dates all the time, etc., etc. Like, so what is your choice? Like, be in the same place or actually like improve. And so not only improves just like your financial wellness, but your overall wellness. So you actually are feeling good and are getting healthier because you're not stressed out about the same thing over and over and over again. So that is my input on like how why budgeting is necessary for your well-being. To me, it just makes sense. If you think otherwise, let me know in a comment. There are a lot of people that have very little but are very happy and healthy because they have the few things that they pay for and they know what it is. They may make however much a month, but you know, like they're conscious of where it goes. They're conscious of what's happening. They're not frivolous with their spending. And again, like, I don't want to say don't do the things that you want to do, but just be smart about it. And obviously it could be like a lot of this this American mentality that leads people into like crazy debt and all this stuff, but I choose to not live my life that way. And so I am always, you know, a lot more even keeled than people because I am very conscious of how I spend my money. And again, that's not to say that I don't stress out sometimes, because like right now it's kind of a stressful time because while I can pay all my bills, like there's a lot of things that I need to be saving for. Like I said, I'm getting married soon. Like, you know, I need to move soon. There's all these things. And so, but I can pay my bills and I can, you know, cover myself right now and then slowly work towards all the things. I should probably talk about quickly how I set up my budget real quick. I've done Excel sheets for the longest time with my budget. I kind of do a combo of like having my budget on an Excel sheet just overall. Like it's like more than 2 years, I think, on this one Excel sheet because I had a different one before. And then I put stuff in my phone as well. And I mean, it's fun. Like if you like numbers and you like math or whatever, it's fun. Like I do, like I used to literally decline plans on Friday nights when people ask me to go out or hang out or whatever, like after work, because I'd be like, no, I gotta go home and do my budget. So it was like Friday was payday, and I was just like, I just wanted to go home and do my budget because that was like really fun for me. And that's how I was able to save up for like my first apartment, because I was budgeting and I was making sure I had everything in the right way, and I saved a few thousand for my first apartment. And yeah, that was however many years ago that was, but budgeting can be fun. And so, you know, also leave a comment if you would like more information on like my budgeting template that I have made where it will like kind of add everything up for you and all that stuff. I used to offer like budgeting calls and stuff, so hit me up if you're interested, and maybe I will add them back to my site. They used to be there like many moons ago, maybe 4 years ago or something, on my website. But if enough people hit me up, if enough people are interested, I'll add them back to the site. And you know, sign up for my mailing list to get notes from me, to get any special discounts on my products and classes and services. You can do that by going to mellowvybes.com. That is mellowvybes.com. And do not forget to like and share this video, and do not forget to take control of your life and your finances and your health. All right. Peace and mellow vibes.